Hey guys, Houndoomed here, coming at you once again with another episode of Pokémon Emerald. On the last episode, we took down the Lava Ridge Gym and its leader, Flannery. On this episode, we're going to be heading east of Lava Ridge Town to the desert area on Route 111. Just in case you don't want to miss the nice little nugget here, you might end up skipping past that. So just let you know that that's there. But once you've taken out the gym, May will pop outside as seen on the last episode, and she will give you the go goggles rather. And so now you can traverse through Route 111, which makes it easier to get to Falaba Town if you wish to get back there. Now we'll cover that tower in just a minute. That is Mirage Tower. That is where you get the fossils in this game, as opposed to where you used to get them before, which is slightly northeast. But anyway, there are a ton of ground type Pokemon here. As this episode is going to be solely this, got to be careful with Trapinch here because they do like to have that. Yeah, as I was saying, I'll keep all of the Pokemon reviews to the end of the episode because it's just going to make it easier. Just so you know, I don't have to keep putting all those skip buttons all the way through because I don't think people. I mean, I don't personally think that everyone actually likes all of my reviews anyway, so, you know, I don't want to make people watch them. And not doing... I need to buy repels. And, oh, hello. That's a very rare Pokemon you can find here, in Emerald anyway. It's much more common in Ruby and Sapphire. Cacnea. Anyway, I wish to get away from this thing. That was my second choice for a grass type. I decided not to use Razor. Do I have any repels at all? I'm sure the answer is no, but doesn't look like it unless I pass them. Hello, hello. I see it! The Tower of Sand! The sand tower they called a Mirage is clearly visible. It looks so fragile. It could crumble away at any time. I want to go inside it, but I can't get my courage up for it. That's what I hate about the old games. What can I get rid of? Full heal. Don't need this. Yeah, I don't like the fact that you have all of this. Like, you have so little bag space in this game. They made it much better in Gen 4 and 5 when you have just unlimited space. And you can carry every item in the game. Much nicer. Anyway, so as expected, you're going to see a ton of ground types around here. With a few rock and fighting types shoved into the mix. Wearing these go goggles makes me feel like a superhero. Right now, nobody can beat me. Well, we'll see about that one. Okay, so Camper Bow has a Boltoy. Nothing too special going on here. Oh, actually, I've just thought of something. I just realised. I'll show you it in just a second, unless there's a Pokemon that pops up. Yeah, I actually evolved Atlas off screen. I know I've been meaning to do that for like 2 episodes now, but I finally did it. Another Boltoy, will stay out. Since Buzz is the lowest level, I think we'll build up Fury Cutter. I should have done it against the last Boltoy, but whatever. Super Sandstorm. Stupid Sandstorm, rather. After turn effects, come on. Let's go for Fury Cutter. Right, so that should be a 2-hit KO. Oh, hello, I'm glad that missed. Don't really want to be dealing with that right now. I mean, it would nowhere near knock me out, because that's a Boltoy and it's not going to do anything. But even so, it would do a fair chunk. Alright, let's get that Boltoy out of here. And what do we have last? And a Sandshrew. Cool. Good job we built up the Fury Cutter. Even if, like, only a little. Alright, so, as what is basically becoming a theme to all of my videos lately, apologies for no uploads, and really, did I have to mention? Why would you dig? You're just wasting a turn. Whatever, I'm going to Sword Stance. Yeah, I have had computer issues again. Basically, my computer was fixed, but then it wasn't fixed, so yeah. It was a very joyous occasion. So yeah, hopefully it's all fixed now. Seems to be fixed at the moment, but it's all good. But yeah, so uploads should be back to normal. I'm questioning my choice of Showdown on a Sunday. I'm not sure. Because I don't really tend to get many people wanting a battle. I mean, it's not exactly like I'm that popular, but even so, I don't tend to get many people asking me for a battle, so... And I don't like battling randomness. I don't know, there's something about it, I just don't like it. I mean, it's fine, I mean, I can deal with it, but it's just, there's something about it. So this is the area in Ruby and Sapphire where you used to get the fossils. Well, I say that, you used to only get one. The other one would fade away, which happens in this game, but you can get the other one later on. Well, when I say later on, I mean after game, but even so. Alright, so we have another sand shrew here. Let's go for Silverwind. Oh, Buzz, you are a tough cookie to deal with. How many Pokemon does this guy have? Does he have more than one? If he has more than one, then well, I've got a Swords Dance anyway, so there isn't much point me doing anything else. Swords Dance. Yeah, I can't wait to get other moves. I mean, Fury Cutter's cool, because it means that I can, enter a long fight and, have a fighting chance, but... just murderous. I have to... Oh, that was totally the wrong move. I hope he's not going to dig again. Oh, good. Yeah, I hope I can... Well, I'm saying I hope, I don't really know why. I will get the HM for Surf soon, and I can get the TM for Dig. And then my final move is going to be from, from Winona. So, yeah, it should work out like that. Didn't I say that my hidden power was Ice? I think it was like Ice or something. Whatever, I'm just going to go for Silverwind. I can't be bothered messing around with hidden power. It's not going to do anything, even if it's super effective. Yeah, I didn't think you had more than one Pokemon. That took forever. Right. I think there are some hidden items around in the sand, so if you do feel like getting your item finder out, do feel free. However, I cannot be bothered because, frankly, the item finder is useless in this gen. And another sand shrew, joy. Right, I'm going to go for a Swords Dance just to kick things off. I'm just mashing the A button, screw it. Well, okay, that almost took it out. Wow, that didn't poison me. What are the odds? Okay, so, almost running out of HP here. Let's go for another Fury Cutter, and I'm still spacing out. I haven't showed you Atlas yet. What's our next Pokemon? A Boltoy, okay, well, here we go then. Here's Atlas. Fully evolved. Okay, so let's go for a hidden power. All these stupid after turn effects. Okay. Get you out of here. Oh, you're mean. Well, no, I'm just kind of better than you, Anyway, so more battles coming up. Hello, hello. I heard there are fossils to be found in the desert. Where could they be? Also, don't quote me on this, but I'm 90% sure you need the Muck Bike to get through the Mirage Tower to get the fossils. So yeah, you might want to run back to Moorville just to pick that up. I don't think there would have actually been an occasion where you would have wanted the Acro Bike. Can't think of any. No, I can't think of any obstacle which would need the Acro Bike at this stage. On the route that's after the Petalburg gym, that requires well, it doesn't require an Acro Bike, but you can get an extra item if you have one. But also, same predicament kind of thing, you get a shortcut if you have the Muck Bike, so either or really. Anyway, so this is really dragging out. Buzz, you're taking the mic. Right, so sandstorm damage, get the speed boost, blah blah blah. Don't know why I can't just tell me this. I guess I could turn battle effects off, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like a battle if you don't have them on. Really? Really? Fine. Bye, Buzz. If you're missing that silver win, then there's no hope. Anyway, so come on then, Ellie. Just finish this. Okay. Let's go for a Psybeam. Bye, Sandrew. And what else? What else? A Marill. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Let's go for a Shockwave. After the stupid after turn effects. Come on! Sick of these already. Let's go! Right. Bye, Marill. I came up short. Well, better keep trying then. Alright, so let's put Ellie up to the front since she is the, well, other than Buzz, the only one who isn't level 31. Like to keep everyone kind of even. Makes it slightly nicer that way. Come on. I know a sandstorm is raging. I've been walking in it for 10 minutes. Come on. Right. Just a side note. I think there is an item in that rock there. I think. So after I've battled this guy, who I think has a Sand Slash, which is a nice change. Yep. Dusty with a Sand Slash. I will check that rock. So this Sand Slash here should get me to level 31, which is good. And then I'm going to switch to Razor just to get any further battles. I think there's 2 more, which could be a double battle if you so desire. I will, yeah, I can just speed through them. While I have searched for ruins, I've not searched for strong Pokémon. Well, I'd say Sandslash's pretty strong. I haven't been searching for any tough Pokémon, but for some reason I sure do like Pokénavs. More good. Thank you for registering me. Alright, so there's another Stardust hidden in that rock right there. Thought there was something. Alright, let's switch Razor up to the front. Yep. Oh no, there's 3 more trainers, because there's another one up the other side as well. So you can have a double battle either side, whichever you prefer. Alright, Brian, what do you have? And Sandshrew. Lovely. Nice change there. Alright, Razor, let's get this over with. Just speed through with some Leaf Blades. Should be able to clean up nicely. And a Sand Slash, whoa. Cool. Alright, so what else can we talk about since this is a relatively boring episode? I haven't really been paying too much attention to kind of black and white updates recently. Not black and white, fail. X and Y updates. I haven't really bothered. Like, I have absolutely no idea what these mega things are. It just seems like another way to overpower Pokemon which are kind of already slightly overpowered. I mean, I don't know how it's going to work. And also, they're Pokemon that are already evolved, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only one who I've seen who does look pretty damn awesome, well, so far, because I haven't really been paying much attention, but obviously I'm subscribed to people who do X and Y updates. But I've seen Mega Blaziken, and that looks pretty awesome. I mean, Blaziken looks awesome anyway. Oh, a Lombre. Right. What can I... Razor can stay out, whatever. Yeah, I haven't really looked too much into it. But Mega Blaziken does look quite cool. Some of the new Pokemon look fairly cool as well. They look kind of average to me. I like the new legendaries though, Yveltal and Xerneas. I like those. I think they look awesome. Although Xerneas looks really like Sawsbuck, I don't know why. I don't think it looks like that way to anybody else. It just looks like kind of like Sawsbuck to me. Like Spring or spring or winter source bug. Obviously not summer or autumn, but yeah. There's another vessel here. I'll give you some of my sandwich if you lose. Alright, well, I'm not particularly hungry at the moment, so I'll just go ahead and win. Oh, a Talo. Great. Don't really have too much to take that on with. But to be honest, I think a Leaf Blade will clear it up nicely. Quick attack. Whatever. So yeah. Less than, well, it's like 5 weeks till X and Y now. Well, yeah, I'll be uploading this the day I record it, so why not? So yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to it, and I'm definitely going to get it the day it comes out, probably. But I don't know. I haven't really looked too much into it. I don't know. There's something about it that's just kind of putting me off slightly. I don't know. I think it's something to do with. I don't feel like the battle screen looks kind of the same. It doesn't look like a regular battle screen. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know. There's something about it. But whatever. I'm sure as soon as I get it, I'll end up loving it. It's the same with Black and White. As soon as I saw that come out, I was like, what were they thinking? But then as soon as I, got into it and played it properly, then, it was awesome. So I'm sure I'll have the same thing happen with this. Anyway, so there's these very suspicious ruins here. This is actually where you find a legendary Pokemon later on in the game, as in much later on. But, just so you know. So there is TM37 for Sandstorm, obviously, down at the very south here. But we're not done yet. We're going to head to the Mirage Tower, and oh, hello, another Cacnea. Don't normally get this lucky. Alright, I don't think there are any battles in the Mirage Tower, but I'm going to keep Razor up front anyway. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess my comment question for today would be, well, what do you think of the Mega Evolutions? I mean, I think they're kind of unnecessary, slightly. I mean, I guess they are kind of a way to jazz up some Pokemon, but to be honest, the Pokemon that they've jazzed up, with the exception of possibly Ampharos, I think all of them look pretty damn awesome anyway. Like Pokemon such as Blaziken, Mewtwo, and the Kanto starters, those are the main ones that stick out to me. They look awesome how they are, so I don't understand why they would need to be jazzed up slightly. I don't know what it's going to do to their stats, I don't know what it's going to do to their abilities, I don't think anybody knows that yet, but even so, I mean, there's just, I don't know, there's something there that's not sitting right with me. Yeah, you do need the Muck Bike to get through here. If I can just remember what the button was. Alright, so you need to basically get over these kind of cracks in the ground without stopping. Rather like that, but as soon as you step on one, down you go. And you've got to get back up again. This is it's an identical puzzle to the Sky Tower in Ruby and Sapphire. Well, the Sky Tower is an Emerald as well, but you don't have... the first time you go up it, the puzzle isn't there. Because it's part of the main story. Not to spoil too much. Ugh, this could take a while. Come on, come on, come on, come on. This is the time I really, really wish I had repels. I can't remember how many floors there are. But I might as well get the fossil. Why not? As soon as you get the fossil, you can take it back to Rustboro City and take it into the Devon Corporation building, and there will be a guy, who is in the bottom right hand corner, I think, who says, I'm working on a machine that can revive fossils. It's working quite well, something along those lines, whatever, and he will notice you have a fossil and will take it from you, and within, like, you just got to exit the entire building and then go back in, and then you'll have your revived Pokemon. Oh, you also need Rock Smash. Didn't know that, but there you go, you live in that. I already have it, but even so. Nothing happening there. Ah, so here we are. So, do bear in mind that, unlike in Ruby and Sapphire, if you don't pick, you can just pick, if you don't plan to use either of these Pokemon through your journey, just pick any of them. You can get the other one later on. I'm going to pick the Claw Fossil because I always do. I'm much a big fan. I'm much a bigger. That doesn't make sense. I'm a much bigger fan of Armaldo than Cradley. So yeah, the Mirage Tower is now gone, and the fossil will. Oh, I don't know what you'd call that. Disappeared into the sand. There we go. That's can be what it's called. So yeah, we now need to be heading down to. I may as well do this on screen. Why not? We now need to be heading down to Petalburg City to fight our next gym. I know we've only had one part in between it. I mean, I guess I could do it on this episode, but I like to keep gyms standalone. So. And also this episode has been longer than I thought it would be, especially since I have a ton of Pokemon reviews to get through. So yeah, this is going to be a lot longer than I expected. But hey, whatever. Ugh, stupid. Where am I going? I don't even know. The technique is remarkable. Speed up a bit while still avoiding collisions. I wonder how you worked that one out, Einstein. Right, thank you. Alright, so let's head back to Petalburg as fast as possible. Hello, Mr. Briney. I wish to go to Dewford. No, I don't want to exit. Why is that the first option? Really? Why is that the first option? I have no idea. But anyway. But I'll tell you one thing I am looking forward to. Which actually should have been in the last generation. Ruby and Sapphire remake, anyone? I mean, I really would like that. I mean, I'm certainly absolutely nowhere near a bigger fan of for God's sake. I'm not a big fan of Hoenn. I know that a lot of people are, and they want that remake more than anybody else. I mean, I was more excited about Gold and Soul Silver, because Gold and Silver were my first ever games for anything ever. So yeah, I mean, I guess that was kind of more. That was more for me. But a lot of people started with Ruby and Sapphire and really do love that gen. I mean, I can see why. It's a good generation, and it changed a lot from from Gold and Silver. It changed a ton. I mean, for example, well, not for example, but going from Red and Blue to Gold and Silver, not much was changed in terms of battle styles, but in terms of Gold and Silver to Ruby and Sapphire, lots of things changed. And obviously there's double battles as well, and lots of new Pokemon. But anyway, so yeah, I'm looking forward to a Ruby and Sapphire remake, but they've never confirmed it, so I mean, I assume they do it, because everyone really wants it. It would certainly do well commercially, and I mean, they did it with the last two gens, so I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't do it with Ruby and Sapphire as well. But anyway, so this is pretty much it for this episode. I'm going to end with the 4 Pokemon reviews for the new Pokemon in Route 111 in the desert section, which are Boltoy, I don't know if it's 4 actually, whatever. Boltoy, Cacnea and Trapinch, I think that's all of them. There's also Sandshrew, but I think I covered that in Route 113. May have to check that, but anyway. Whatever, I'll have a look, see what's coming, and then, yeah. So I'm going to end with Pokemon reviews, but until the next time, which will be when we take on the Petalburg Gym, obviously, I've already said that, I will see you next time, guys. One of the new Pokemon you can find on Route 111 is Trapinch. Trapinch is a ground type and can have the abilities either Hyper Cutter or Arena Trap. It can be found on Route 111 in all 3 games, as well as in the Mirage Tower in Emerald. When looking at its stats, you can see that it's fairly well rounded in terms of defences and special attack, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're good, being only base 45. It also has a pathetic speed stat, being only base 10, which is the second lowest in the game, second only to Shuckle. But it also has a very high physical attack stat, being base 100, so you wouldn't think it, but this little guy can pack a punch, well, despite not having any hands, but anyway. At level 35 it will evolve into Vibrava, at which point it will pick up a Dragon subtype, and both of its abilities will change into Levitate. Its stats kind of get worse, really, because its well-rounded stats become slightly higher, being base 50, which is not exactly a very dramatic increase at all. As well as that, its physical attack actually decreases to base 70, and also Its speed does increase by a massive 60 points, getting up to base 70, but it's not exactly like that's blazing. And unfortunately you've got to put up with this fairly rubbish Pokemon, which should really be a bug type, until the massive level 45, which is pretty much the end of the game. At which point it will evolve into everyone's favourite Hoenn Dragon, Flygon. When looking at Flygon's stats, you can see that it's much better in terms of stats, having very well-rounded defences and also a pretty damn good special attack stat. It is also pretty fast and can certainly pack a punch. Flygon is an interesting one. It's decent, however I would say that its Dragon type stab is slightly better than its Ground type one, because it has much better neutral coverage. However, it only has a base 80 special attack, which, while usable, is nothing, it's not that great. Really, there are very few moves that Flygon can use very well. It doesn't really have access to Rock Slide unless you're trading it over. I don't even know if it can learn it otherwise. It just literally has ground type moves, and then you've got to rely on its special attack. I mean, it can learn a lot of different types of moves, but it can't really utilise them very well. And as good as its stats are, kind of well-roundedness-y, they're not really that great. They don't get it that far in terms of competing against other Pokemon. Like, there are better ground types, such as Golem. Golem has a much higher physical attack stat, and also doesn't. And also has a higher defensive stat. However, it is weak to water, which is quite a big problem. Flygon is also very weak to ice as well, which you've always got to look out for. So Flygon's an iffy one. It's decent, but I don't think it's as good as some people would make it out to be. But Flygon is decent. I would give it 3 stars. Another new Pokemon you can find on Route 111 is Baltoy. Baltoy is a ground psychic type and can have the ability Levitate. It can be found on Route 111 in all 3 games. When looking at its stats, you can see that it's got a decent enough stat spread. It's got fine physical attack and special attack. It's nothing great, but it's usable, I guess. But it also has pretty damn good defensive stats for an unevolved Pokemon. However, it has a very low HP stat, which kind of cripples it. It is also decently fast for a defensive unevolved Pokemon. Unfortunately, you've got to put up with those pathetic attacking stats until level 36, but at which point it will evolve into Claydol, which can be found at Sky Tower in all 3 games. Claydol is not much better than Baltoy, really. It has pathetic attacking stats. Its defences may look very respectable, but then, look at the top of the table and you'll see that it's got a very lousy HP stat. It's decently fast for a defensive Pokemon, but you don't really need speed when it comes to being a defensive Pokemon. You want to be a bulky tank, and Claydol is not that. It can't attack, and it can't really defend that well either, because it has a billion weaknesses, being weak to 5 different types, which is not a very decent amount. You're weak to very, very common types, such as grass, water, and dark, being very, very common types. It's also weak to ice and ghost as well, but they're not so common. So yeah, you've got to really look out for different types when it comes to Claydol. However, it can learn some interesting moves such as Ice Beam, which we wouldn't really expect. So it can be a bit surprising in that respect, but it's nothing special. There are better bulky types, bulky Pokemon, sorry, and there are better ground types easily. Claydol will get 2.5 stars. The final new Pokemon you can find on Route 111 is Cacnea. Cacnea is a grass type and can have the ability Sand Veil. It can be found on Route 111 in all 3 games. When looking at its stats, you can see that it's quite clearly meant to be an attacker with 2 very high attacking stats rather, having base 85 in both attacking stats, which is very high for an unevolved Pokemon. However, it has very low defences and is pretty slow. At level 32 will evolve into Cacturne, at which point it will pick up a dark subtype. It's kind of following a similar trend with Cacnea, really, having its defences increase by a very small amount. They're not a very high number, and it's pretty slow as well. However, it has 2 very high attacking stats. It is very good at mixed attacking. Obviously better in special because both of its stabs are special, but that aside, Cacturne can do some work. It can learn a decent amount of moves. It can learn well, Focus Punch and Dynamic Punch for some fighting type coverage. Can also learn Growth, which is a good move for it. Can also learn Leech Seed, I'm pretty sure, which is another good move for it, although that's a slightly defensive move, so you may want to hold off on that. Cacturne is also one of the very few Pokemon who can actually learn a usable grass type move, which isn't Giga Drain, which is Needle Arm, which also has a fairly high chance of causing a flinch, which doesn't happen too often because of how slow Cacturne is, but it also has a lot of PP as well, which is obviously much better than Giga Drain because it only has 5. But yeah, Cacturne is decent. Obviously you've got to compare it to its main competitor, which is Shiftry. Shiftry is slightly better in that it has similar defensive stats. It is slightly weaker at attacking, but is also much faster, has access to Chlorophyll, so it can use, it can become even faster. As well as that, it can also use Solar Beam as well, and also get a speed boost from it as well. It also can learn Brick Break, which is fairly massive, because a fighting type coverage move when you are a dark type is pretty damn good. That's a good thing to have. But yeah, Cacturne is good. It has to mainly compete against Shiftry because there aren't many grass types that have a similar build to it. Kind of Sceptile kind of has the same, but it's a bit different. But yeah, Cacturne and Shiftry are decent Pokemon, but Shiftry is slightly better. But yeah, Cacturne's a decent Pokemon and will get 3 stars.